go to a restaurant, you order some food, you're waiting 10-15 minutes, you're like, man, where's this food? And you have that glorious moment where you make eye contact with the server and you're like, that's my food right there. What is up, beautiful people of YouTube? Welcome to the MTE Fit, aka Made to Excel Fitness YouTube channel, and welcome to the final installment, part 3 of 3 of the most important fitness videos of all time, and this one's called Know Your Baseline. So if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, definitely go check those out. These 3 videos are very much so linked together. So part 1 is about, I tell you the most important thing in all of fitness. Part 2, I tell you how to achieve that thing, and in today's video I'm going to tell you an even easier way to achieve that thing. So they are very much so interconnected, so I'll put the link in the description down below. Definitely go check them out before you watch this one. It'll make things a lot easier. Now, if you're watching this part of the video, I'm assuming you've seen parts 1 and 2. If you haven't, you're a jerk. But anyways, in summation of the first 2 videos, part 1, I tell you that the most important thing in all of fitness is consistency. And pretty much the easiest way to quantify that is if you had the best training program on the entire planet, but it was something that you couldn't do consistently, it's not going to matter for you. It's not going to give you long-term sustainable results. And in that video, I used the example of having The Rock's workout plan. If I somehow got his workout plan, his exact sets and reps, his exact workouts, his exact diet, for a lot of people that would be fitness gospel. But a very, very tiny, small population of people would actually be able to do it consistently because it's probably super out there. It's going to be very intense. The diet portion especially is going to be very hard for people to do consistently. So regardless of how many people see value in that thing, they're not going to be able to do it just because it's something that they cannot do consistently. So if it's not something that you can do consistently, it's not going to matter for you. So finding what you can do consistently is going to allow you to make these long-term sustainable results. And in episode 2, I tell you about the theory of small changes, which sounds exactly how it is a series of small changes can lead to a big result. And in that video, I use the example of somebody who eats fast food and they want to cut down on their fast food consumption. They start off eating 5 days a week. Instead of trying to cut it cold turkey and going 5 to 0, it's probably easier and probably better to go from 5 to 4 and to stay in that range for a few weeks, then go from 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, so on and so forth until you get to your desired outcome. Theory of small changes. Making these small changes can lead to a big result. It's going to allow you for more consistent results. So that is a summation of parts 1 and 2. And in today's video is called Know Your Baseline. And Know Your Baseline is this concept that I came up with based on the idea that everybody's got dietary habits. And this is mainly for diet, but you can also transfer this over to fitness stuff, and I'll get into that later. But 70% of the US population is considered to be either overweight or obese, so this is a very relevant issue, something a lot of people struggle with. So I'm going to talk about weight loss a lot, but so Know Your Baseline is based upon the idea that everybody's got dietary habits, and dietary habits that you formed over years and years and years of eating. Think about how many years you've been alive, how many days you've been alive, times how many meals you've eaten in those days. It's tens of thousands, probably. Tens of thousands of meals. So over the course of those meals throughout your entire life, you've created these dietary habits. And it might not be something that you're fully aware of, but they're there subconsciously. And the easiest example of a dietary habit is if you go to a restaurant, you order some food, you're waiting 10-15 minutes, you're like, man, where's this food? And you have that glorious moment where you make eye contact with the server and you're like, that's my food right there. And that server comes down and they set a plate down. Even if this is a restaurant that you've never been to, even if you ordered food that you've never had in your entire life, once that server puts that food down, you know immediately, before even touching your fork, before putting a bite of food in your mouth, if you order too much food, not enough food, or just the right amount of food. And that is just a habit that you have over years and years and years of eating in terms of portions. You know exactly how many, what size portion is good for you. And it's relative from person to person. What you consider to be a large plate might be a small plate for somebody else. So it is a dietary habit that is specific to you. And that is one of many examples of dietary habits, but that is a good example. That is probably the easiest thing that a lot of people can relate to. That being said, you can transfer this to other things, right? You could also have fitness habits. If you go for a run, you know that you can run for about half a mile before you have to start walking again. Or if you're bench pressing, you know that you can put 135 on the bar and you can do 10 reps before you can't do any more reps. Those are fitness habits as well. Those are your baselines. So once you know what your fitness habits are and you become more aware of them, now you can start to improve on those baselines. So knowing your baseline is super important. So very simply, for somebody who's trying to lose weight, maybe their baseline is they go to McDonald's pretty often and they get a Big Mac meal, but they get it in a size large. So it's a Big Mac, a large fry, and a large Coke. And they dine in and they fill up their cup twice. That's a lot of calories in just the Coke itself. So knowing your baseline is that, trying to improve on that, maybe you go to McDonald's the next time and you say, I'm gonna get a Big Mac meal size large, but I'm gonna get a Diet Coke instead. You're still eating Big Mac and a large fry, but you're saving a ton of calories switching from regular Coke to Diet Coke. Hundreds of calories every time that you go. And that's not going to be that's not going to be the change that changes your life. You're going to have to do more changes than that, more than likely, but it's a good start. And it's not a big change. It's not something that is so daunting and something that's so scary for people. You're still eating a Big Mac and a large fry, just switch to a Diet Coke. And once that becomes your new baseline over several weeks, you start to get used to that. Now you can have a new baseline and improve on that as well. So if you started off eating a Big Mac with a large fry and a large Coke, and your new baseline that you set is a Big Mac, large fry, and a Diet Coke, now that you feel comfortable with this, you can improve on it further. Big Mac, medium fry, medium Diet Coke. Now you've already cut the carbs, you've already cut the calories from the soda, but now you're saving a few calories from the fries. And it's not as big of a change as the Coke to Diet Coke, but it's a step in the right direction, and it is a step that allows you to continue to make progress. So finding these different habits that you have, finding these different baselines, and improving on 2 or 3 at a time on any given day, this may not seem like a big change, but it's going to transfer into large changes over time, and that's kind of what we're after. This is just another way to look at theory of small changes, but it's maybe something that is a little more quantifiable for some people. So finding what your baseline is, improving upon that, really important. And then if you can do that in conjunction with some fitness habits, so you're working on your McDonald's habit to kind of cut it down, and once you get down to like maybe you go into Big Mac, small fries, small Diet Coke, now you can maybe reduce the frequency of how many times you go to McDonald's, right? Always continue to improve. And it's going to take weeks at a time to set a new baseline, but you're always continuing to improving. And in conjunction with a fitness habit, let's say you work out 3 times a week for 10-minute sessions. Now all of a sudden you can say, all right, I'm going to improve on that. I'm going to do 3 times a week, but I'm going to go 15 minutes. Those extra 5 minutes in those 3 days is another entire 15-minute session that you just added on to those 3 days. May not seem like a lot in the moment, extra 5 minutes, who cares? But that's a whole extra session on top of what you're already doing. And that's gonna have big that's gonna have big results in the long term, and that's really important. So knowing your baseline is super important. Improving on those baselines little by little every day is going to lead to big results. Just another way to look at theory of small changes. But that about wraps up today's episode. This video we're coming up on 9 minutes. Maybe the edited version is a little less. So the entirety of the most important fitness video series, the 3 videos, is just around 20-ish minutes, maybe 25 minutes. Over the course of these 3 videos, 25-ish minutes, whatever the case may be, hopefully you find a nugget of information that is going to change your life and to propel you forward in your fitness journey. And if there's other people in your life that you think are struggling with the same things, they're not making progress, their progress is halted, share these videos with them, right? You could potentially help your mom, your dad, your uncle, your cousin, your best friend. They might find something in these 25 minutes that changes their life for the better, and that's really what matters. That's really what it all comes down to when I make these videos. But in the meantime, follow me on Instagram at MTE Fit. Follow me on Facebook, Made to Excel Fitness. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, MTE Fit. I'm going to continue to make YouTube videos outside of the series. Like, comment, let me know what you guys want to hear. I want to make content that is catered to you guys, things that you want to know about, things that you want to hear. I want to help you guys. I'm not doing this for myself. I want to help you guys make progress in your life. So definitely, if you have any questions, slide in my DMs, send me an email. I'll put all that in the link, or I'll put that in the description down below. But that about wraps up today's episode. Hope you guys found something really important. Hope you guys found your X factor in these videos. But that about wraps it up. Most important fitness videos of all time. It's a wrap.